All right, here we are. PTAC Lunch and Learn, September 16th. We're talking today all about veteran programs, the SDVOSB and the CVE. And if that's confusing and you don't know what those acronyms are yet, you will by the end of our presentation. I am Janean Forsyth Lefevre, Procurement Specialist with the Wyoming PTAC, and we're joined today by our partner in crime, co-conspirator, a really good friend, Deb Farris, the Deputy District Director of the U.S. Small Business Administration, Wyoming District Office. So today, it should be fairly quick, hopefully really informative. We'll go through an introduction. We'll talk a little bit about the SDVOSB program. That'll be Deb's portion. And then I will jump in with Andy's assistance, if I forget anything, to talk about the Vets First verification program through the CVE. And then at the end, as always, we'll touch on what we have coming down the pike so you know what other sessions you want to sign up for. First of all, before I turn it over to Deb, I just wanted to clarify something. This is a question that we get all the time. Is there one program? Is there two programs? It's two. It's two distinct programs at this time. The SDVOSB is Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Program. This is government-wide. The Vets First Verification Program through the CVE is for VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, contracts only. This is a really easy way to differentiate the two in your mind. So I decided to include this helpful slide right at the beginning of the presentation, so that way you can refer to it a couple months from now when you forget which one was which. And with that said, I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Deb. And if you want to just holler when you want me to advance the slides, I will be your slide girl.
Awesome. Thanks, Janine. So good afternoon, everyone. The information that we're providing today is up to date as of today. So it's really important that you understand that things change all the time. There's proposed legislation to change some of the processes. However, until that change occurs, the certification processes will be as we describe them today. Next slide, please. Oh, and I guess we can go to the next one. So the SDVOSB program through SBA establishes the criteria used in federal contracting to determine service disabled veteran status, business ownership, control requirements, guidelines for establishing sole source and set aside procurement opportunities, and protest appeal procedures for the SDVOSB procurements. The regulations, in case you're interested in some late night reading, are located in 13 CFR, that's the Code of Federal Regulations, starting at 125.11. In order to be eligible for the Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Concern Program, SDVOSB, a business must be at least 51% owned and controlled by one or more service-disabled veterans. A service-disabled veteran is a veteran with a service-connected disability determined by the Department of Veteran Affairs or Department of Defense and has a letter issued by either of those agencies documenting that determination. SDVOSB must be small under the NAICS code assignment to the procurement. If you don't know what a NAICS code is, you definitely need to meet up with your PTAC representatives, Janine and Andy. The 51% ownership must be at least 51% unconditionally and directly owned by one or more service disabled veterans. And we can go to the next slide, please. So the most important things about this are that one or more service disabled veterans must manage the daily operations of the SDVOSB. The service disabled veteran must hold the highest officer position in the business, and they must possess the managerial experience required to run the business. One or more service-disabled veterans must be responsible for making long-term decisions for the business. And also, it's always important to note that the federal government has specified annual prime contracting goals for designated small businesses, and for the service-disabled veteran small business program, it's 3%. And we can go to the next slide. So how can you use the certification program? For SBA's SDVOSB program, it allows you to qualify for set-aside or sole source contract awards made by contracting agencies. That helps them meet their SDVOSB prime contracting goals. At the current time, businesses may rely upon self-certification to pursue non-VA SDVOSB contracting opportunities. So remember at the beginning, Janine talked about the difference between the two programs. You have to be certified by VA as an SDVOSB in order to qualify for any VA contracting opportunities, especially construction, unless they specify otherwise in their procurement announcements. Recently, I'm even seeing this as a requirement for some DoD agencies. So, as I said earlier, lots of things are uncertain in life, but one thing is certain, and that is change. The Women-Owned Small Business Program started out as self-certifying and recently changed in August. So it could be that in the future, you would have to certify in a fashion similar to the Women-Owned Small Business Program, the Hub Zone Program, and the 8A program for service-disabled veteran-owned small business. But at the current time, it is a self-certification. The program also facilitates business development opportunities and additional financial support through the All Small Men and Protege program, which we will discuss in a few minutes. The set-aside requirements for the service-disabled veteran-owned small business program are the same as they are for any of the socioeconomic programs, woman-owned, 8A, Hub Zone. A contracting officer may set aside requirements if the requirement isn't excluded from the program itself, there's a reasonable expectation that at least 2 responsible SDVOSB will submit offers, the award will be made at a fair market price. If the value of the contract exceeds the simplified acquisition threshold, or you might hear the acronym SAT, which is currently $150,000, the contracting officer must consider setting aside the requirement for 8A Hub Zone, woman-owned, or service-disabled veteran-owned before considering a small business set-aside. The contracting officer may award a sole source contract if they don't have a reasonable expectation that at least 2 responsible service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses will submit offers, and if the anticipated value of the contract, including options, will not exceed $6.5 million for manufacturing procurements or $4 million for all other procurements. And they are certain that the award can be made at a fair market price. So we will head to the next slide, Janine. So as I said previously, you are currently able to self-certify, and that's done basically by checking a box. However, be sure that you always have the required supporting documents in a convenient location, and that would be your DD-214 and the letter from VA DOD acknowledging the service-connected disability. This self-certification enables small businesses to qualify for service-disabled veteran-owned set-asides or sole source contract awards made by contracting agencies other than the Veterans Administration and some specified DoD opportunities. Again, there is a difference, so it's worthy of repeating. Businesses may rely on self-certification to pursue non-VA service-disabled veteran-owned small business contracting opportunities. You must be certified by VA as an SDVOSB in order to qualify for VA opportunities. As previously discussed, the federal government has a 3% subcontracting goal for service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, and our program helps large prime contractors identify SDVOSB subcontractors so that they can meet their subcontracting goals. And we can go on to the next slide, Janine. So we could spend probably an entire lunch and learn on the All Small Mentor Protege program. So I'm just going to briefly hit this. And maybe we'll hit it at a lunch and learn down the road. So how does the All Small Mentor Protege program benefit small businesses? The program was established in 2016, and the purpose is to provide small businesses development assistance and enhance their ability to compete in the federal marketplace. So some of the benefits could be guidance on internal business management systems, accounting, marketing, manufacturing, strategic planning, financial assistance in the form of equity investments, loans, and bonding. A lot of firms, especially small firms, aren't able to obtain the bonding to perform at the higher level in the government, so a mentor can assist with that. Also assisting navigating the federal contract bidding and acquisition and performance process. Sometimes that's overwhelming as well. Education about international trade, finding markets, a variety of business development opportunities available for proteges. The protege pairs with a mentor company, and normally, yes, that's a large business, not always, but normally, to access the developmental assistance and build that capacity to grow and compete on the larger contract. With a mentor-protege agreement and a joint venture agreement, you could then pursue contract opportunities as a small business, service-disabled, veteran-owned small business, while receiving that business development assistance from your mentor. In order to apply, you must self-certify as small in the North American Industry Classification System code in which you are seeking the All Small Mentor Protege Business Development Assistance. You may also seek a mentor protege agreement in a secondary NAICS code as long as you've done business in that code. SBA won't authorize MPAs for which no work has been documented in the secondary NAICS code. If you're interested in this program, I just encourage you to check out our website, sba.gov, and of course you could always call me with questions. With that, I would like to turn this program over to Janean to talk about the CVE process.
Awesome. Thank you, Deb. That was really good. I appreciated that. I feel like even though I've been here working with the PTAC for a little while now, I always learn something new from you, and that's fantastic. And here's Deb's contact information, since she so graciously offered that you could call her. Here's how you do it, as well as the website. And these slides were emailed out to everyone who registered today. So hopefully you have that in your inbox. Okay, so to talk a little bit about the CVE, the Vets First program through the VA. And Deb did a really great job of illustrating some of the giant differences in the two programs. This one is VA specific. It is not self-certified. There is a process. And you'll notice I'm a lot wordier than Deb on my slides. I feel like I could take some minimalist lessons from you, Deb. Anyway, the Vets First Verification programs within the VA, procurement places the highest priority on SDVOSBs, so service disabled, veteran-owned small businesses, followed by veteran-owned small businesses. The Vets First Verification program lets verified firms, which are owned and controlled by veterans and service disabled veterans, the opportunity to compete for VA set-asides. So if you take away nothing today, you're going to know the CVE is for VA work. The Center for Verification and Evaluation is what CVE stands for, and they are the ones who verify currently VOSBs and SDVOSBs according to the regulations that you see referred to here on the slide. The Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, which I think is hilarious. People pronounce this acronym OSDBU. Is that right, Andy? OSDBU?
Yeah, that's how
yeah. It cracks me up, but it's kind of easy to remember. OSDBU at the VA manages the program. And I provided you with the link here for that website so that you can go read more about it. The basics, however, very, very similar in terms of how you qualify to the SBA program. The vet business owner must meet the definition, right, that's out in the regulations. The business has to be at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned by one or more vets. And that individual or individuals must have full control over business operations. And that's a really key point. It's not enough to just show up as an owner. There has to be evidence that you're making both short-term and long-term decisions for the company, that you're directing the growth or the business operations of the business. There needs to be real proof that you're hands-on, right? That you really control, not only own. The Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization at the VA manages the program, and we went through that already. So OSDBU, it sounds like, I don't know, a kid's TV show or something to me. All right, so how to apply? Call us, contact the PTAC. We can help you complete the pre-application steps together. Both Andy and myself are trained by the CVE to be verification counselors. So we can help you put all of your documents in order and really get the roadmap in terms of certification down so that we're following all the steps. Once you do all your prep work, we'll submit all your documentation in the key areas of eligibility, ownership, and control. So you do have to submit documents that prove all of these things, which is a big difference from the self-certify, just check a box that's currently the process for the SDVOSB. Something that's very, very important for applicants of this program is that you respond really quickly to additional document requests, and there probably will be some. They really look at everything you submit, and if they have questions, it's very important that you're responsive. Fortunately, there are lots of tools and guides available to assist you, and of course, we here as your PTAC staff are trained to help. Once you apply, you'll get updates on your verification status from CVE provided emails. So that's really helpful. Sometimes with government programs, just depending on what you're doing, you can feel like you submit an application and it goes into a black hole and you have no idea what happened to it until the day you hear one way or the other. From what I've learned in our training, the CVE does provide verification status emails all along the way, letting you know where your application is. Andy, what did I miss on the CVE?
Oh, I don't think you missed anything. It's a pretty involved process, so we're really trying to encourage companies to help let us coach you through it. It's a good idea to always get all your documentation together. There is a PDF on the CVE website where you can look up by legal organization what documents they're going to ask for. And You do have to sign an 0877 form, but that is all done electronically. So no, you covered it very well. Just get a hold of us. We're here to help. We try to make things easier, and hopefully you can get it streamlined and get it in. And they do pay attention and do want you to, like if you partially put in an application and then you're gone for 4 weeks, they will zing you and say, hey, what's up? And, you know, so it's a pretty good process, really. And although it is involved in a bit on the bureaucratic side.
I feel like a lot of our military folks are pretty savvy in terms of the bureaucratic side of things, though. That's just been my personal experience.
Yes, they're very used to it, so it's nothing new for them.
Right. Do we have any questions from the folks that are on the call? I know we have some folks from SBA attending. We have some veterans and business owners attending. What questions, comments do you have? Feel free to unmute yourself, or you're very welcome to use the chat function in Zoom. Either way, we absolutely welcome involvement. I know Jordan, who's on the call, does a lot of work with veterans. Any insight, Jordan? Anything we missed?
No, I don't think you missed anything that I can see. I am our office's Veterans Business Development Officer. So Deb's contact information was earlier in the presentation, and she can put you in contact with me. I'm also on our website as well, www.sba.gov/wy.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for joining in. It's always good to know that we are putting the right information out there. Right. Anything else from attendees? Questions, comments, success stories, cautionary tales? Feel free to throw anything out there, and while you're thinking, I'll just go over a little bit about us here at the PTAC. We've talked a little bit about how we are happy to help with veteran certification programs. We also provide free and confidential assistance with all things government contracting, including capability statements, coaching, feedback on bid proposals, all kinds of fun stuff. Ooh, matchmaking events, stay tuned. We'll be working on some creative virtual opportunities this fall and probably in the spring to help get you connected. And what we have coming up, Wednesdays are our lunch and learn days. We typically try to do them every other Wednesday. You'll notice we have 2 weeks in a row coming up, September 30 and October 7. So that's extra fun. You can see us only 1 week break between getting to hang out with your PTAC. September 30th is going to be all about the Hub Zone program, and that will be led by Andy, the program manager, which I think is going to be a really good presentation. October 7th, we have guest speakers from the Market Research Center who are going to talk about optimizing your website for government procurement. October 21st, all about micro purchases and how they can help you in terms of your federal contracting journey. And then later in the fall, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about the dynamic small business search and how it's very, very important. The CMMC, which is new cybersecurity regulations for contractors. Hopefully some more women-owned small business updates and some other surprises. So please stay tuned for all of those. You can always check the wyomingsbdc.org training page to see what lunch and learns are coming up. We make sure to list all of those out there. A lot of our lunch and learns we are recording and then putting out on our YouTube channel, and there's a link to that on that training page as well. So that's a great place to just bookmark for yourself to know what's happening with us. Here's our contact information, and then just in case you didn't write it down quickly enough, Debs is here as well. And I will check the chat just to see if any questions came in. Andy or Deb, anything to leave the group with before we sign off today?
Oh, I don't think so. I think you covered everything, Janine. Thank you.
All right.
The only thing that I will say is I encourage everyone to utilize the PTAC. It'll make your life a lot simpler and make government contracting seem a little bit less complicated.
I love that. I love that.
So,
Can I type that out and use it as a testimonial on our webpage? That'd be perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, we'll let everybody go today. It's always wonderful to see you. We enjoy this time that we share together, even though we're separated by circumstances outside of our control right now, including distance, but also COVID-19. But we love spending time with you virtually this way, and we'll see you on September 30th. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
yep. Thanks, Janine.